What do you know about the creator economy?
I'm learning every day. What I do know about the creator economy is that it's transformative to the broader economy. When we think about, particularly in the U.S., and I would say, again, going into global markets, consumption, whether that's food and bev, whether that's fashion, obviously music and other forms of entertainment, the reality is it's the internet democratized it all. It makes it accessible.
Yeah.
If you've got a smartphone in your pocket, you can create short films, you can start a business, right? And I think
exactly.
And that to me is the most important thing about the creator economy is that everybody is a creator in their own right. It might be simple pictures and captions, but it might be feature-length films if you know how to do it and if you're willing to put in the time. And what we're seeing is that not only are the tools being democratized, but also the learning and the education to learn how to use those tools is also being made more accessible and available. So when you put those two things together, I think you create a really, really rich environment for wonderful things that come out of that. And it might be new TV shows. It might be new ways to report on news. It might be new ways to talk about your business or have the content itself be a business and be a way for you to produce income, supplement income for your business or for yourself as a person.
Yeah, I think, the moment that video got added, and I said this several times, the moment that video got added to social media, everybody became a television network, right? So once you can take video because you got followers, right? And so your followers in essence are viewers to your content. On other platforms, you might not get all your following to see your content, but if you have 1 million people following you, then you have 1 million viewers who want to see your content, either as you post it or somewhere down the line when they tap back into the platform. And I think that's important because now that's the quiet part out loud, because now it gives the ability for people to create content with direct-to-consumer monetization on a platform like Fanbase. And then now you are your own Netflix. But not only are you on your own Netflix, you're your own podcast. You're your own short form video editor. You're your own photographer. All these tools that we give that we want people to be able to monetize their content and have an opportunity to scale is what makes Fanbase different from everybody else. We talk about content suppression all the time. We talk about shadow banning. Those things are real. I'm going to cover some of these things because I say these a lot of times, but understanding that when you're on social media, no one is ever going to see all of your content as you post it. And the reason being is because advertising is a large part of these current platforms like TikTok, like Instagram. It's a large part of these platforms. So they can't let you reach 1 million people by posting a photo or a video and then turn around and charge Domino's Pizza to reach 1 million people, because that in turn would say, well, Domino's would just say, man, let's just go to user X's page and hand them a check and be like, yo, put this commercial on your page and you can reach all these people. So that's the importance. That's a big differentiator between us and other platforms, because we're not built off disruptive advertising. We're not built off advertising that limits the viewer from being able to actually, the poster being able to actually, see all their content. And so I think that's extremely important. What I know about the creator economy is something that I think about is inequity. I was having a conversation the other day. This is actually something that we're going to talk about briefly today, because I think this is important. Do you remember the Renegade dance?
Renegade, yeah.
There was a Renegade big challenge. It was a challenge created by this young black girl named Jalaiah Harmon. And it got popular on Instagram and TikTok. And
K-Camp.
Yep. So from that dance, that challenge, another creator named Charli D'Amelio did that dance and got very, very popular on TikTok. To no fault of her own, right? She started receiving brand deals. She started receiving endorsements and endorsement opportunities and stuff like that. And Jalaiah didn't really get a lot of those opportunities. And what I was explaining to creators and users is that platforms like Instagram and TikTok want to have very famous white creators, right? It has nothing to do with Charli D'Amelio against Jalaiah Harmon. That's not it, because all these platforms are the same. You do the challenge, I do the challenge. You do the dance, I do the dance. It's a collective group fun thing. But what works on platforms like TikTok and Instagram are large amounts of viewers. And so the ability for someone like Charli D'Amelio to bring millions and millions and hundreds of millions of views because she is white gives more real estate for TikTok and Instagram to run advertising in between, leaving Jalaiah in the dust to not really get the brand opportunities that most people get. And I was looking the other day, the last time I checked, and I wish I could check right now, and I don't know. Andy, if you could, matter of fact, if you could, Andy's here too. I don't know if you know, Andy's here, the producer. He's here. Say what's up, Andy, on the microphone real quick so everybody knows.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, Andy's here. Andy's the off-camera producer for Investors, so you'll be hearing him from time to time, especially when we get to the Q&A section. But I saw the other day that I think Jalaiah Harmon just like went to college. Like she stopped trying to pursue the content creator space.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Charli D'Amelio is worth tens of millions of dollars.
Right.
I mean, let's have that conversation real quick.
I mean, I think, staying in the lane of invested, right? The theme.
Yeah.
One of the things that stands out to me about the creator economy is that oftentimes our works, our ideas, our dances, even just our words and, definitely our music is used as almost like a seed round,
Yes.
So those not familiar with like investing, like seed rounds are like the first money in when you're building a business. And so here she is now worth tens of millions of dollars, all, money in, but no return on the creator, no return on the original, the source. And so I think it's, it's messed up for one. I mean, I think the other thing to be mindful of is that you have to be very, very careful about and thoughtful, that might be a better word, on where we put our content, knowing these things, right? Like you said, these are attributes of a system. The attributes of the system are, our job is to garner eyeballs. Whoever gets us the most eyeballs is who we're going to promote, is who we're going to push and advance. And if the people that if there are more white eyeballs in the country than black eyeballs in the country, then they're going to push creators that they believe will resonate with that audience, right? Because that's where they're going to get the most eyeballs. It's a numbers game. Do I agree with it? No, but I do understand there's no point in arguing with numbers. So I think it's important to understand that if we're going to put our creativity out there in the world, particularly on these platforms, recognize the game. Like it is what it is. Our options, we have to create options, which is what Isaac has done, which is why I'm a 2-time investor into Fanbase, to be clear. So yes, I'm an investor. I invested in the very first 2 rounds of Fanbase. Very excited about that, of course. And the reason for that was coming out of the pandemic, or actually going through the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, I realized everybody's eyeballs were fixated on screens.
Yes.
For effectively for 2 years until we started saying we outside.
Right. We outside. Like everybody was staring at a screen for hours upon hours upon hours. And that's, in the world of social media and content and entertainment, frankly, that's money. That translates into dollars. And we saw the rise of other platforms. We saw Versus, come and go, and is, as much of a cultural moment as much as we can appreciate it. It made a few people rich, not mad at it, but at the end of the day, if we don't have the infrastructure and the resources to support our own flavors of that, we'll continue to lose, some of our best properties and ideas and concepts to other systems and other platforms that do have. And so, investing in Fanbase and into creators is a way to ensure that the money stays in the creator economy, because we back an amazing creator that comes up with a challenge. He or she makes a bunch of money. Maybe it pays for college. I'm not saying don't go to college. Absolutely go to college. But also there's money to do more things, to produce more content, more shows, and maybe even invest in other creators. So what does it look like to create a circular economy to where we're backing the dopest creators, putting out the best music, the best videos, the best content, and then they turn around and put their money into who they think is the rising stars, the next Kai Cenats or the next whomever's. Like, that to me is the power of this platform, but also the creator economy, is that it can be circular. We can support each other and invest each other and then draw more people into it.